Welcome to this explainer. Today we're uncovering something pretty amazing. How you can live out an absolute dream retirement without, well, completely draining your savings. We're talking about stretching your dollars to the absolute max. Now, if you're already plugged into the whole retiring abroad world, you know the cost of living is just all over the map. I mean, in some places, just living comfortably could easily run you $300 a day. But what if I told you there are these incredibly beautiful, culturally vibrant places where that number just completely plummets?
Right, so let's dive into this countdown of the 10 cheapest cities for retirement globally. We're going to group them by price tag, just so you can see exactly the kind of value you're getting. Because the massive question we're answering here is, where in the world can you actually retire on just $20 a day? Stick around, because our number one spot is literally going to blow your mind.
Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, the $1,000 tier. These are actually the most expensive, cheap spots on our insanely affordable list. Moving right to our number 10 spot, which sits just a hair over $1,000 at $1,071 a month.
Welcome to Hua Hin, Thailand. So this is a super peaceful haven, right? It's only about 2.5 hours from the absolute hustle and bustle of Bangkok. Funny enough, wealthy locals actually use it as a weekend escape, but during the week, it is this incredibly uncrowded expat paradise. For that $1,071 a month, you're getting amazing night markets with fresh seafood, long, beautiful beaches, and get this, world-class hospitals where a full checkup will only run you about $35. You can grab street food for $2 and lock down a modern condo with a pool for under $500 a month. And as for the logistics, you've got options. You can go with an annual O visa or a 5 to 20-year Thai privilege card.
All right, now we officially drop below that $1,000 mark for our number 9 destination, which comes in at $998 a month. Coming in at number 9, we have Cuenca, Ecuador. Now this place is a stunning colonial town and a UNESCO World Heritage Site, sitting way up at 8,300 feet in the Andes Mountains. Because of that altitude, you get this perfect spring-like weather practically year-round. We're talking gorgeous blue-domed cathedrals, cobblestone streets, and flower markets that honestly look like literal paintings. It's super friendly, really safe, and you can rent a one-bedroom apartment right in the city center for somewhere between $250 and $450. Plus, and this is a big plus, Ecuador uses the US dollar. They also offer a super easy retirement visa at age 65, which actually hooks you up with a senior discount program giving you 50% off transportation and services. Talk about serious peace of mind, right?
Moving on to Section 2. This is the $900 sweet spot where we start seeing some huge value drops across South America and Asia.
Our number 8 spot comes in right around $900 a month, and it offers this really surprising beach lifestyle in, get this, a totally landlocked country. Let me introduce you to Encarnacion, Paraguay. They call it the Pearl of the South. So how do you get a beach in a landlocked country? Well, it sits right on the border with Argentina, connected by this massive bridge across the second largest river in South America. It actually boasts a 7-kilometer waterfront promenade with beaches and parks that completely rival Miami or San Diego, but literally for pennies. You can rent a one-bedroom here for just $250 to $450 a month and feast on these massive, delicious steak dinners for just a couple of bucks. It is an absolute hidden gem.
Now what's really fascinating here is how wildly visa requirements vary right in this specific price tier. You've got Paraguay offering this crystal clear path to citizenship. You just need a $5,000 local bank deposit and about $1,000 a month in income. But then contrast that with Malaysia's MM2H visa, which is notoriously expensive and super strict to get. And then look all the way over at Cambodia, a $300 a year visa for anyone 55 and older with absolutely zero income requirement. It just goes to show you really have to look at these rules before you go packing your bags.
And that leads us perfectly into number 7 and 6. At number 7, we have Johor Bahru, Malaysia, at $860 a month. Now, this city is literally just across the causeway from Singapore. You can actually see the ultra-expensive Singapore skyline right from your apartment window, but you are paying a fraction of the cost for modern malls and absolutely incredible food. Just $2 cheaper at number 6 is Siem Reap, Cambodia, at $858 a month. This is a gorgeous small town right next door to the massive 400-acre Angkor Wat temple complex. It just offers this incredibly serene spiritual life alongside a really vibrant local cafe culture.
Dropping just a few dollars more, we hit our number 5 destination at exactly $850 a month.
Welcome to Cordoba, which is Argentina's second largest city. Look, if you are a foodie and you want a European vibe but with Latin American prices, this is absolutely your spot. Imagine sitting down to a massive, world-famous steak dinner with wine, and the bill is just $10 to $15. You can grab a delicious Media Luna croissant for breakfast for $2, and honestly, you can comfortably keep your entire monthly grocery budget between $200 and $300. It's culturally rich, it's vibrant, and man, is it beautifully affordable.
All right, Section 3, the $800 escapes. This is where we look at some amazing tropical spots, but with a few distinct trade-offs.
Let's take a hard look at the reality of our number 4 spot, Cebu in the Philippines, coming in at roughly $800 a month. On the plus side, English is an official language. The locals are incredibly friendly. You've got excellent private hospitals with English-speaking doctors, and you can score a modern condo with a pool and a gym for just $260. But on the downside, and we have to be real here, you've got to deal with insane traffic, a whole lot of city noise, and a pretty brutal typhoon season from June to November. You definitely have to go in prepared.
But despite the weather and the traffic, what you'll hear expats actually living there say perfectly highlights why it's so popular. The super low cost of living, combined with killer amenities like international airports, embassies, Western restaurants, creates this tropical lifestyle that so many people find incredibly hard to beat, especially on less than $1,000 a month.
At number 3, we drop down to $747 a month in Ho Chi Minh City, which is affectionately known as the heartbeat of Vietnam. This vibrant former capital, which a lot of people still call Saigon, is a staggering 75% cheaper than living in New York. You get this stunning colonial architecture, an endless choice of rooftop bars, $1 to $2 bowls of the most amazing pho you've ever had, and world-class healthcare. I mean, we're talking a walk-in same-day MRI for just $475.
Now, as one American who's lived there for a decade points out, the people are incredibly warm and the healthcare is top-notch. But, yep, you do have to deal with the pollution and the chaotic traffic. Another thing to note is that Vietnam actually doesn't have an official retirement visa, which means you're going to have to get a little creative with renewable tourist, business, or investor visas. Still, for under $750, the sheer energy and affordability make it totally worth the chaos for so many retirees.
Okay, Section 4. We made it to the sub-700 club. We are looking at the 2 absolute cheapest retirement destinations on the planet.
So there's a really crucial point to make about our number 2 spot, the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, and it is a wild, wild irony. You can live in this exotic, totally off-the-beaten-path paradise. I'm talking pristine rainforests and active volcanoes for under $700 a month. But the 1-year renewable retirement visa for folks 55 and older requires you to prove an income of $3,000 a month. I mean, your required income is more than 4 times your actual cost of living. Make it make sense, right? It's definitely not for everyone, but for the right person who actually meets that threshold, it is pure, uncrowded paradise.
And now, the moment you've been waiting for. Let's reveal the absolute lowest cost of living of any city on our countdown, coming in at an astonishing $656 a month.
Number 1 is La Paz, Bolivia. This is a city literally built into a massive canyon in the Andes Mountains, sitting at a breathtaking 12,000 feet above sea level. It is so incredibly steep that instead of building highways, they built the world's highest urban cable car system just to get people around. A ride, it costs about 30 cents. You can get full, delicious, authentic meals for $1.50 and rent a gorgeous, modern, 2-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood for just $350 to $500 a month. It's unreal. And here's how La Paz builds into the absolute ultimate retirement package. Unlike Sumatra with those crazy steep financial hurdles, La Paz makes it incredibly easy. The visa is open to anyone over 18. You only need to prove $1,000 a month in income, whether that's from a pension or investments. After just 3 years, you have a direct path to citizenship. And the cherry on top of all of this, Bolivia has 0 tax on foreign income. You will not lose a single dime of your pension to local taxes. Talk about getting maximum value for every single dollar. So, to wrap up this explainer, I really want you to remember that stretching your savings requires a bit of a balancing act. Yes, living on $20 a day near a beautiful beach or an ancient temple is entirely possible, for sure. But, as we've explored today, you have to balance that dream with the pragmatic reality of visa laws, local weather, and infrastructure. Some places require massive bank deposits while others literally ask for almost nothing. So taking a step back and looking at the incredible value across these destinations, which of these 10 amazing cities is going to be your next adventure?